In Florida man and stripper might be after your money news, a Miami stripper apparently boozed up a patron and stole a credit card and then spent $62,000 on the credit card. So, yeah, a Florida woman over here trying to get a little bit close to the man lifts the credit card. $62,000 though. I mean, wow. I mean, we really were not pulling any punches over here, were we? I guess she picked the target with a high credit limit. Woof. Let's get started with this. A patron's private dance at a Miami adult establishment ended with a stolen wallet, $62,000 in unwanted charges, and a stripper as the prime suspect. Wow. It's everything you ever wanted, right? Miami stripper steals credit card, $62,000. It's a story that writes itself. According to Miami-Dade, Yalaine Riviera Bosa is 34 and facing charges of committing an organized scheme to defraud, fraudulent use of a credit card of $100 or more, grand theft, and also selling narcotics without a prescription. Also doing a little drug deal on the side. How fun. Police say the man visited the adult establishment on Friday where he requested the woman and apparently 5 other women to strip and entertain him during his time there. So apparently this man is throwing down big, right? So he wants a private dance from 6 women at the same time. So, apparently got a little bling bling to throw around that he can afford that because, that's not going to be cheap to get 6 women at the same time, one would imagine. And one of the 6 women is like, hey, I can't help noticing this guy seems to be able to afford 6 women at the same time. I wonder if I can lift his card. According to the report, the woman danced for him privately, and 5 other women later joined in. The victim was constantly being given tequila shots by the woman, which led him to becoming drunk as he lost the ability to stand up and walk out. While the man remained in the VIP seat, the woman took his wallet and cell phone while he was too dizzy to react, as she distracted him by rubbing up against him along with the other women. So, there you go. It's like, yeah, let me get the guy really, really boozed up and then, flaunt my stuff and rub up against him and lift his wallet. Detectives say all the women continued to tell the victim that the drinks were on the house. Well, I suppose they were, but, then again, it's his credit card. So, yeah, the drinks are free, but there's going to be some other charges along the way. Police said the man decided to leave the club around 4 a.m. when he was feeling better, but realized his credit card was missing. According to the report, the man realized on Saturday his missing credit cards were scanned using phone applications where various amounts of money totaling $62,345.91 was transferred and paid to the Bar and Grill and Triple Vision, which is the LLC name for the club, as if he was paying the business. So they wrote themselves a $62,000 tip, basically. So I'm not sure how they came up with that number, but that's the number they wrote down. Police say the victim had 6 PayPal transactions transferred from his cell phone, which he didn't authorize. So they got access to his cell phone, opened up his PayPal, transferred money out of his PayPal. The victim told the police the charges were made to his Chase, American Express, and Wells Fargo accounts from the company. As the victim tried to cancel the PayPal charges, he later found the woman's number in his cell phone, realizing that she had to put in her number in it to send herself the money. That's great, right? So he looked at his cell phone records and he realized the woman's number was in the cell phone because she had to put the number in order to transfer the money to her own account. So that kind of narrows it down as to who was involved, right? Whose cell phone number is this? This woman. That kind of narrows it down in your sort of pool of suspects. Police say after interviewing the woman, she admitted to paying herself, but said the victim allowed her to send herself the money. According to the investigation, the woman was inconsistent after she told police there were another 5 women involved, but didn't know their names. The woman told the police that she would not pay herself, however, but she gave written consent to search her cell phone, which, guys, do we really have to go over this again? Don't talk to the police. Don't sign, permissions. So she's like, yes, I'd like to talk to police. Yes, I'd like to give you permission to search my cell phone. Detectives saw a text message to her friend and husband, so she's married, that showed pictures of the PayPal transactions to her complaint that one account was canceled by the victim. We have some evidence, maybe, that things are not going right. Authorities say that the cell phone contained information about human growth hormone and anabolic steroids, which came up in an incoming text that requested her to bring the product to the club for purchase. Okay, so that's how we're getting controlled substances in this. So while the police are looking at the phone, looking at her phone with her permission, mind you, to determine this PayPal message, we couldn't help noticing you received an incoming text message while we were looking at the phone. Hey, woman, would you please bring HGH and anabolic steroids to the club? I really like to purchase them. XOXOXO. She might be involved in a conspiracy for controlled substances, guys. She was arrested and transported to the Turner Gulford Night Correctional Center. How fun. Thus, that brings us to the end of the story about Yanelin Riviera Bosa, pictured here, who apparently decided to take advantage of this guy who was big balling it, being like, he won't notice it. He noticed it. The credit card company also somewhat noticed it, I'm sure. And he's like, yeah, we can't help noticing that you spent all this money. You weren't allowed to do that. So she's being charged with the grand theft and the controlled substances as she receives a text message. Please bring us the steroids so that we can purchase XOXO. And the police are like, yeah, this seems like a fraud. So stripper gone bad. Who could have possibly seen that coming? And that brings us to the end of discussion of this story.